Hey, what's up everybody? This is VisitJoan, and today we're throwing it way back to before I even started playing The Sims, and we are doing the Goth Family home from The Sims 1. And I am pretty sure a lot of you watching this do not remember this house, and there are plenty of you watching this who do. I mean, I remember it, but I started playing The Sims 1 like 3 months before The Sims 2 was released, so anyway, that's another story. Anyway, when they go to furnish this house, you're probably going to notice it looks a little bit different, and that is because the Goths no longer live here. They still own this house, of course, but when they moved into the big family mansion, basically they decided not to sell the house, but to keep it and then rent it out at a low price to families who don't have a lot of money and can't really afford to get a nice place of their own. So I furnished it with the family that lives here in mind because, you know, the Goths would have taken everything and put it to the new house. But anyway, this is the house that Cassandra grew up in, and Alexander spent his toddler years here, or some of them. It is not an exact replica. I did make a few changes. I think the biggest one was that I made it a little bit bigger so that there would be more room in the living room and the bedroom, because it just felt like the bedroom felt like all you could fit in there was a freaking bed. And I'm like, no, they have a bigger bedroom, you guys. Like, I don't know, but and the living room was just like, I just needed to put more space in there. And I also gave it a foundation because, honestly, number one, there were no foundations in The Sims 1. And honestly, it looked better. It just looked better with a foundation. I think that was a good choice. Anyway, you may notice that this house does not have the little altar that I always give it, and that is because the Goths probably would have taken that altar with them when they moved. And that's pretty much it. As for the furnishings, the kitchen is probably almost exactly the same as it was when the Goths lived here, and that is because, well, you can't move kitchen cabinets, you probably don't move, refrigerators and stuff, and, stuff like that. And honestly, I love this kitchen. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite kitchens that I've ever done. I love the curtains. It's really done well. I really like the way it turned out, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Bella and Mortimer, they moved into this house right after they got married. Mortimer, basically, right out of high school, he enrolled in the program at the local science lab, where you would start working at the science lab, and at the same time, you would earn your science degree. He rose through the ranks of that pretty fast in comparison, and he actually achieved the title of Mad Scientist, which they only give out to the best of the best. So he is the best of the best. He has done really well for himself, and, Bella's really proud of him. But she was kind of the backbone the whole way. She was behind him the entire way there. As for Bella, she went to community college for a couple of years because she didn't really exactly know what she wanted to do. So she figured, might as well get the associate's degree. So she got that, and then she worked at the same, bookstore her mother worked at for a while. And then she did that until Cassandra was born, and then she became a stay-at-home mother, and she honestly felt like that was her calling, that was what she was meant to do. She enjoys that, and so, there's nothing wrong with that, guys. I mean, if you really want to stay home and take care of your kids, that's great. If you want to have a career and have kids, that's great too. If you want to have a career and not have kids, that's cool as well. You just do what you want to do and not listen to other people just make a big deal out of it. But honestly, I think society sometimes just really undervalues the housewife stay-at-home mom because they do a lot of work and they really just don't get a lot of credit for it. Cassandra was born a couple years after the marriage, and she got basically the entire second floor to herself. It was a really sweet deal. She's very shy. She was always like that, and she basically went to public school up until second grade, but it really just didn't work out well for her. She was kind of bored. She was, the curriculum was too easy, and Mortimer really wasn't happy with that. She wasn't, doing a lot of homework. You don't have a lot of homework in second grade, but it was even less than what you would, expect a child to have. But it just wasn't stimulating enough for her. And so Bella and Mortimer decided, okay, why don't we enroll her in the local private school? And that was really a great fit for Cassandra because she did well there. She excelled there. She was able to, keep up with everything, and she was a lot more stimulated, and, she was with a lot of people that, actually did care about their education and all the other rich kids, but we don't need to go into that. Anyway, private school ended up being the right choice for her, and so they sent Alexander off there when he was born, of course. There are no private schools in Strange Town, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Anyway, there is a pretty big age gap between Cassandra and Alexander, 9 years to be exact. And that's because, Mortimer and Bella, they did want more than one child, but they really wanted a bigger age gap. Because then they wouldn't really have to deal with all the squabbling and the fighting, and siblings with a bigger age gap do fight, but it's just not as much. I don't know, it just feels like they wanted their older child to be able to understand why they couldn't pay as much attention to her and why they were paying so much attention to the new baby. And then they just wanted Cassandra to be able to understand that, and so they wanted to wait until she was a little bit older. And at first they thought 5 years, that'd be good. But by the time that happened, Mortimer was at the part of his career where he had to work long and hard hours at the science lab. And he and Bella wanted to spend the time that he didn't have to spend at the science lab, putting their family first and their relationship and not having to deal with the needs of a newborn. So they decided, okay, we're going to wait. And then after that period was done, they were really unsure whether they really wanted, a second child. Cassandra, she was fine as an only child. She was happy, but they were kind of going back and forth for a while. But Bella, she grew up with an older brother. And Cassandra, just because she's so shy and she's so quiet, she has a really hard time making friends. Her best friend is the girl that babysat for her, Mary Sue. I'll get into that in another video. But she really just had trouble making friends her age. And she probably, a lot of the friends she had weren't friends, but people that, maybe she just talked to in school but didn't really consider friends. And so they really wanted her to have at least someone that she could count on. And so they said, okay, we're going to have her second child. Alexander was born when Cassandra was 9, and he pretty much spent his toddler years in this house. They pretty much, kept him in their room, and by the time he was old enough to get his own room, they had moved out and into the other house. That's pretty much everything I have to say in this particular video, guys. I really hope you enjoy the rest of it. If you do, please, by all means, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!